Hey guys, I am just kind of like impromptu jumping on here because, because I have important things to say, of course. But I have been talking a lot about suppressing our desires and what we want. And this is weird you guys aren't talking to me. Suppressing our desires and what we want. And what happens is we tell ourselves over and over again that we can't have what we want. And then we don't know what we want. And then we don't want to do anything. And we have no drive and no energy and motivation. And so it's a problem. But I think a lot of times we tell ourselves that we can't have what we want or it's not available to us, and it's bullshit, right? But when I was in my 20s, my famous conversation starter, right? When I was in my 20s, I told myself that I had to do this thing, right? Stay in this marriage, stay in this career, make money, blah, blah, blah. And that, I actually had to push down my feelings so that I could stay in that situation. Is my nose pink? It looks pink to me. So when we push down our feelings, one, I was pushing down my pain, and I was pushing down my emotions sexually, emotionally. Well, I guess emotions are emotional. Like all my feelings. But when we're in pain, we don't just push down our pain. We push down all the good stuff too. And when we do that, then it's hard to find it again. Because we're saying it's not possible, and we're literally, we're actually, I don't know, we're actually deleting the possibility from our head that that's possible. And if we want what we've just deleted, we have to actually create that belief again. So a good way to do that is to look at other people in a good way and say, okay, they have this, so it's possible for me. And that's what I did. That's what I do. But if we've been in pain, a lot of times what will happen is we will get triggered by other people who have what we want. So people who have money, if we don't have money, we get triggered by things that they say if they talk about money, or like bills and expenses and like what they're buying, and we get triggered because we can't have that. And that's one thing to look at, is where are we getting triggered, and can we allow our desires to come up? I know a lot of us come from the same kind of background I come from, where we have a lot of beliefs about money and being a minimalist, and we can't have this or we can't have that, or we've been in relationships where we have been basically in a relationship where we're kind of saved by the other person financially, right? And if you're on, say hi, because I can't see who's on. And so when we're in this relationship where someone else, hey Phil, where someone else is helping us financially, it really decreases our belief in ourselves to be able to take care of ourselves. And so again, we're pushing down the feelings of what we want to, okay, now I have to cater to this other person because they're providing for me financially. And then literally last year, I was, what is up with me in that word, literally? When my ex moved out, I was thinking, oh my God, how am I going to take care of myself? And it sounds ridiculous when you say it out loud, right? How? Well, you're going to do it. You're just going to take care of yourself, Nichole. But I think that that is a fear that we all have. How are we going to take care of ourselves? Because we aren't used to that. Especially last year, it was the first time where I had been single and had been working for myself. So it wasn't like I was a software engineer and I was going to get a paycheck. It was like, okay, you really got to show up. And so that fear, would I be able to do it? Would I be okay? Would I be able to take care of myself? I had to calm myself down and be like, okay, you got this. You can totally do this. I understand your concern, but you're going to be fine. And I actually had to keep doing that. Now, what was the title of this? What did I title it? How to Get What You Want. Okay. So we have to know what we want. We have to have beliefs around what we want. And if we're being triggered by something, for example, for a long time, I was and I have a win, actually. I was triggered by weddings. Anything to do with a wedding. And right after my divorce. And it was funny because I was actually, while I was being triggered by weddings, I was actually helping another ex go to weddings and set up a photo booth and hang out at the wedding. But it wasn't a big deal because it was just the reception. But one time we had to go to a wedding and sit through it, and I just had an anxiety attack because it was triggering me, because I didn't think that I could have that, and I didn't really believe in marriage anymore for a lot of different reasons, which, if you've heard my story, my parents and of course my divorce. So I was really triggered by that, but I wanted that. I wanted love, and honestly, I was like, I don't know that I want to get married again, but I want that, what it represents. So, look at what triggers you. This wasn't even on my notes for today. Look at what triggers you, and be real with yourself. Do you want that thing? Because a lot of times I don't think we are honest, especially when it comes to relationships, because we think that's out of our control. Which I'm laughing because it's kind of not true. It's kind of not true. But we think it's out of our control because it involves another person. But there's so much of it that is in our control. And yet we do that with everything, don't we? Oh, well, money's out of our control because our clients are out of our control. We can't really say whether they're going to buy or not, and we just put all these things out of our control, which gets rid of our power, which then impacts our belief further. And then we think, okay, well, how do I get what I want? You really have to believe it's available. And the reason that I kind of got on here today was because I was thinking about my healing, my legs and all of that. And I just decided that I was gonna get well. Like, I just was like, I'm done with this. And I had tried it before, because people were like, oh, well, it's emotional pain, just decide you're done and be done. And I was like, I'm deciding. But it was more than just deciding. It was saying, I am responsible for creating what I want. Now that I've done the stretches and the physical therapy, and I don't know that just deciding would have, I don't think that just deciding would have done it if I didn't do the physical therapy and didn't do the emotional healing. Because the pain was there because I needed to do the emotional healing. And the pain was there because I needed to physically tell myself and be with myself that I was there. Tell myself that I was there. It had to be a physical thing because my emotional pain made me. But my emotional pain made me run on my legs 15 years ago. And it was a physical thing. So my emotional pain pushed me to do something physically, and then to heal it, I had to emotionally be with myself, and then also physically be with myself. But that's my belief. I could be wrong. But then I had to decide that I was done with it. But I also had to decide that I was responsible for my own healing. In other words, I was going to my physical therapist and my massage therapist and kind of like, fix me, right? But I'm responsible for my own healing. Yes, they gave me the exercises, they helped me out, but ultimately it was me deciding that I was done relying on them. And even though I still go to them and nothing really changed, but just a shift, right? It was just me flipping the switch, saying, okay, I was kind of blaming you, leaving you with the responsibility, right? And we do this with all the things, with our partner, with our career, with the, letting other people have power over us. Which, say that however you want, but giving people power, giving people responsibility that isn't theirs, and just kind of putting too much on them. And I decided and then took that responsibility back, and I also got some magnesium lotion and pills. And I don't know that, I think they made a difference, but I don't know if that was with the me taking responsibility. Well, I'm going to mentally take responsibility, and here's something physically I can do on top of what I'm already doing. Like, I never stop. I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna do all of this. So it was really a decision, doing the work, the emotional, physical work, the emotional work, the physical work, making a decision, and then taking responsibility. What is the title of this again? How to get what you want. How to get what you want. So, wherever you are, what is it that you need to take on responsibility for emotionally, physically? What do you need to decide? And here's another thing. I actually still have to decide every single day. And what I mean by that was, my pain was kind of bad this morning. But as soon as I was like, okay, I'm on top of this, I'm responsible, I'm going to create what I want, it just kind of went away. Now again, I'm not making this up. But what it is it's you. I think there's a lot of different factors, but I think it's you loving yourself enough to decide that you want something better. You want healing. You want whatever it is that you want. And when you show up and you love yourself enough to do that, then the pain kind of goes away. Now, if you take that same concept and apply it to anything else, when you love yourself enough to say, I am worthy to have money, I am worthy to have clients, I deserve to have clients, I love myself enough that I'm going to go out and get clients, I love myself, I'm going to be there for myself to heal myself. It's, the thing of it is we need love. We need love. And I believe that all our pain comes from us, not all of it, but I don't know how to say this. I'm just going to say it. All our pain comes from us not loving ourselves. Because if you think about it, if you fall in love and you go and you go on your, I don't know, 5th date or whatever. We're just going to leave it in the beginning of the relationship. You go on a date and you're already in love and you're just like, right? Say you have a headache or a stomach ache or something, like whatever, anything, any problems in your life, and you go and you be with that person and you're in love, you don't have any problems. You don't have any problems. Because it just kind of, they all go away. And then the headache never comes back. Well, until later on in the relationship. But the point is, that is the kind of love that we need to have for ourselves. The kind of love that heals pain. The kind of love that shows up with a bouquet full of money. The kind of love that makes sure that your bills are paid. The kind of love that wants those things that you want, that you're even too afraid to admit that you want. The things that trigger you. So this isn't what I was going to say at all. But it's true. When you decide that you are going to love yourself in this way, you stop worrying about if you're going to be okay, if you're going to be able to take care of yourself, because that's what love is. Love is really you showing up for yourself in every way. So another way to think about this, if I haven't given enough analogy or enough description, is if you thought of the perfect partner, right? Man or woman, I don't know if Phil's still on. Somebody's on. I don't know who's on. It says Phil is on. Okay. So if you thought about the perfect partner, someone who would make sure that you're taken care of when you're sick, somebody who would help you with your finances, somebody that would go to the gym with you and back you and spot you, and somebody that would do the meal plans with you. Okay, this is my partner, apparently. Somebody who would cook for you a really healthy meal when you got tired of your chicken and rice. Okay, this is getting embarrassing. Okay, cool. But if you thought about the perfect partner, and then you thought about, are you showing up for yourself in that way, right? So Phil, I'm gonna use you. The perfect partner probably would encourage you to do your music, want to hear everything, want to hear it again, want you to talk about it, ask you questions about it. That's what you need to do for yourself. Because if you had a partner that did that, how much more confident would you be about your music? How much more excited would you be about your music? So think about that, because I believe we're missing the whole self-love thing. I don't really go with any other self-love coaches, but one day I realized, fuck, I'm a self-love coach. I don't think I want to be a self-love coach. But then I was like, I am a self-love coach. But I don't think anyone explains it the way I do, because I've really had to go through it I'm very stubborn. A lot of masculine energy, and I've really had to go through this self-love journey, pretty much kicking and screaming. Like, no, I don't want to love myself. But yeah, if you can show up for yourself in that way, then things change. And now this is a really hard concept to grasp, and this is why I work with my clients for a really long time, because what we've been doing is we've been in an abusive relationship with ourselves. We've been verbally abusing ourselves. Probably not, okay, I was going to say not physically abusing ourselves, but I definitely have physically abused myself. I didn't beat myself up. What's that movie? The Dumb and Dumber guy. Liar, Liar, that movie. Where I'm kicking my ass. I'm kicking my own ass, something like that. Maybe people confuse self-love with being selfish. Yes, they do. It's not, but I think we can be conditioned to think that way earlier in life. Yeah, we have this whole don't be selfish, don't be, what's the other one? Don't be selfish. Oh, and be humble. Be humble. And it's really killing us, like ourselves. Like we're all trying to be martyrs, and it's not good for us. If we would show up, ask questions. It took me forever. Don't be me. It took me forever to ask questions, tell people I had problems, feel like it was okay to be honest about what I was going through. It's still, for me, it's like, okay, how honest do I be? I'm pretty honest. I mean, if I'm going through something, I went through something Monday, and I was like, this is a head wreck. It's hard being the kind of coach I am, because it's like I'm working through all my stuff, and then I'm like coming out with all stuff that I've been through, and it's just like, whew, it's a lot of personal development work. It's hard. But yeah, I was going through stuff on Sunday, and it takes a little bit for that to kind of dissipate, and for me to be like, okay, I got this. Yeah, I'm good. It's a little bit of a head spin. So, I forgot where I was going with this. So, if you want what you want, how to get what you want. I should write that under the title. I don't know if it's on here. Okay. How to get what you want. You have to figure out what you want. This is probably the hardest thing. This is why a lot of people will sign up with me, because they're in a relationship. They're like, I don't even know if I want in or out. And that's where we pick up, where they don't even know what they want, which is hard to hire a coach at that point when you don't know what you want, because it's like the coach is there to guide you. But if you can't tell the coach what you want, well, that's when you hire me. That's honestly when you hire me, because I hope you figure that out. But if you don't know what you want, probably avoid other coaches. Not because they're bad or anything, but this is my specialty, helping you figure out what you want. So if you don't know what you want, then you can't get it. And we've been suppressing ourselves and our emotions for so long because we've been in hurtful relationships and we've been through trauma, or we just haven't allowed ourselves to be able to say what we want. And then we have all these beliefs on top of that keep us from believing it's possible. So I had a completely different thing that I was going to say today, but this is what was meant to come out, and there you go. If you have any questions, comments, all those things, let me know. I will do more Facebook Lives. I need to follow up with all of you on the survey because I have questions on what your questions are, especially for the life purpose, because that can mean a lot of different things for people, I think. Okay, I'll let you guys go, and I will see you guys on the next Facebook Live.